Picture yourself in a dark, windowless compound in northern Pakistan. You've cut yourself off from the world. No phone, no internet, no communication. Only the sound of your own breath and the constant fear that every noise outside might be your end. Now imagine being the man once feared by the most powerful nations on earth, reduced to hiding behind concrete walls and closed curtains. How does someone who once commanded armies of followers end up trapped in his own prison? How does power like that collapse and vanish overnight? This is the story of how Osama Bin Laden, the mastermind of 9/11, lost everything he ever built, from his global network of terror to the life he once controlled with fear. Osama bin Laden was born into privilege, the 17th son of Mohammed bin Laden, a billionaire construction magnate who had close ties to the Saudi royal family. He grew up in luxury, educated and religious, but restless. When the Soviets invaded Afghanistan in 1979, Osama found his purpose. He joined the fight not as a soldier, but as a financier and recruiter. Using his family's wealth, he funded training camps, bought weapons, and began organizing Arab fighters under the banner of jihad. By the late 1980s, he helped form al-Qaeda, meaning the base. It wasn't just a group, it was a movement. Bin Laden believed the Muslim world was under attack, and he saw himself as the defender of Islam. His charisma and money drew thousands of followers, and as the Soviets withdrew, he became a legend, a wealthy Saudi prince who had defeated a superpower. But that victory planted the seed of something darker. Bin Laden began to believe he could take on the West itself, especially the United States. In the 1990s, bin Laden's ambitions turned global. From his new base in Sudan, he began coordinating bombings, assassinations, and terror plots against Western targets. But it was in 1998, after declaring war on America, that he crossed the point of no return. That year, his operatives bombed U.S. embassies in Kenya and Tanzania, killing over 200 people. The world took notice. The CIA began hunting him. His face became a global symbol of extremism, and he reveled in it. Then came September 11, 2001. 19 hijackers, trained and funded by al-Qaeda, flew commercial airliners into the Twin Towers, the Pentagon, and a Pennsylvania field. Nearly 3,000 people died. The world changed forever. But for bin Laden, the attack that made him infamous would also become his downfall. Within weeks, the U.S. invaded Afghanistan, dismantling his training camps and killing or capturing his closest allies. The Taliban regime that protected him collapsed, and bin Laden vanished into the mountains of Tora Bora. He had become the world's most wanted man, but also a man without a home, without a country, and without the allies he once relied on. For nearly a decade, bin Laden lived as a ghost. He moved from cave to safe house, relying on an ever-shrinking circle of loyalists. His network fragmented. Funding dried up. Communications became nearly impossible. Any signal could give away his location. He resorted to writing letters by hand, carried by trusted couriers who risked their lives to deliver them. His health declined. He aged rapidly. The once fiery leader turned into a frail man with a graying beard, isolated from the movement he created. Inside his compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan, bin Laden lived with his wives, children, and guards. He spent his days reading old magazines, watching TV, and obsessing over al-Qaeda's brand, frustrated that the new generation of jihadists were too brutal, too chaotic. Ironically, the man who had unleashed terror across continents now feared being forgotten. He once commanded armies. Now he couldn't even step outside his walls. The same paranoia he used to control others now consumed him. He hid behind barbed wire, surrounded by those who pitied him more than feared him. While bin Laden hid, the world kept searching. The U.S. intelligence community spent billions tracking his network, analyzing every rumor, intercepted message, and courier movement. It wasn't drones or satellites that finally led to him. It was a single trusted courier, Abu Ahmed al-Kuwati. After years of tracking, in 2010, the CIA traced al-Kuwati to a mysterious compound in Abbottabad, Pakistan. It had no phone lines, no internet, and unusually high walls, just like the kind of prison a paranoid man would build for himself. After months of surveillance, the CIA was convinced this was bin Laden's hideout. On May 2, 2011, in the dead of night, U.S. Navy SEALs launched Operation Neptune Spear. Within 40 minutes, it was over. Bin Laden was dead, shot in his bedroom, his identity confirmed by DNA within hours. The man who had once declared war on the world died not on a battlefield, but hiding in fear. His empire of terror, the network that spanned continents, crumbled the moment he fell. His death didn't just end a man's life, it symbolized the destruction of everything he had ever built. Osama bin Laden began his life surrounded by privilege and ended it surrounded by walls. He once commanded a global army, but died powerless, hunted, and alone. His story is a chilling reminder that terror and ideology might rise with fury, but they always burn themselves out. Power built on fear eventually devours its own master. Bin Laden wanted to be remembered as a revolutionary. Instead, he became a warning. If you found bin Laden's downfall fascinating, wait until you hear about another dictator who used the camera itself as his weapon. Check out our gripping video, Saddam's Terrifying TV Tactics, a story about how fear, image, and manipulation became tools of absolute control. Click to watch and see how one man's obsession with power turned the screen into a stage for terror.